Hey guys, it's Brad from B&T Catfishing. Today, going to talk about suspend fishing. You may want to see this. Suspend fishing has been around for many years, and most people think and use floats when doing so. Well, folks, if you're like me, you started out bluegill fishing or crappie fishing like I did with my father, and we used one of these. That's right, the good old clip-on little plastic bobbers. And I'm going to tell you, we caught a lot of fish. You know, Dad taught me and my brothers how to fish, and we started out obviously catching the little bluegill in the little ponds and lakes nearby. And suspend fishing using a bobber is what we did and how we did it starting out. Floating pieces of red worm or mealworm or crickets, using this float or bobber to keep that bait up off the bottom of the water. And these things have caught millions and millions of fish over the years. Well, catfishermen today do the same thing, suspending baits. They use big slip bobbers. They'll use Santee Cooper rigs, or they'll just suspend. And we'll get to that in a minute on how to do that without using the float. But the premise is to keep your bait up off the bottom of the water, or the bottom of the lake or the river that you're fishing in. So there's a couple of ways to do that. You can do that using a float to keep the bait off the bottom by doing it from holding it up from the top up, or being on the bottom and floating it up. So the different ways of doing that would be using a slip bobber rig to do that, or a Santee Cooper rig. The Santee Cooper rig will have a weight attached to it that'll take your bait down, but it will also have a float that will keep your bait suspended just off the bottom of the river. Floats are a great way to suspend your bait up off the bottom, whether it's from the top down or the bottom up. It gets that bait up off the bottom, out of the vegetation or the brush that might be down there, or the snags, and hopefully puts it right there in front of the fish. Another way to suspend fish without using a float is to take your rod, and we're going to suspend by just dropping our line over the side of the boat. Now, some people say you can't catch fish that way. You have to cast. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can catch fish that way. Taking your rod, opening your bail, or letting that line fall just right off the side of the boat. Let it go on down till you hit the bottom. Retrieve it just a turn or two off the bottom. A good way to do that is, if you have your rod up when you hit the bottom, is reel your rod tip down till it touches the water. Okay, then lock it down. Place your rod in the rod holder at that point, and you're set. You now have that bait off of the bottom. So there you go. And you are now suspend fishing without using a float. Folks, I hope these tips help you and gives you just another tool in the toolbox to catch fish by now using suspend fishing methods. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and check out our other videos that are coming up that relate to this episode. We'll see you soon out on the water.